Hi, it's Chastia, and it is Thursday, January, oh wow, exactly, June 12th. And I normally come to you live on Tuesdays, and because we're in BAMA week 4 right now, it's an 8-week series that me and my team are putting together with the entire human race in what you'd consider a energetic. It's really like an energetic harvesting machine is what it is. It's how the earth and the whole cosmos and the planet where humans was set up. What's happened over the past 7 to 8 years is when the rest of the world didn't know that we were what you would call the end of days. And this is the end of time as we knew it. It doesn't mean that it's the end of time. It actually means that you're limitless. It actually, expands so much when you put time back together correctly. And this Tuesdays, I normally come on and I talk about what are the expansions that need to happen for us to bring in the masculine pieces of this, which is the math and the physics and even your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s. Because there's a level to ABC and 1, 2, 3 that was not taught to the human race, that even the astrophysicists can't seem to get their mind around down here. That is the actual way that space and star systems and large macro energetics can form and move together inside space, on the ground, inside different bubbles of existence that were harnessed. It's just been the way of it down here. And Purple Pig this week, this has been last week was tough. Greenland was tough. Greenland was tough in a different way. Greenland last week on week 4, it was a lot more mental projections. It was a lot of big cosmic missions that were going on within the collective. All of these movements that we've been making on the ground are your angelic army. We're on the ground. We've been on the ground. We've been on the ground. It's learning how we communicate and opening up your recessive genes and to be able to process what information is coming into you, into your bubble, into your collective. And you process it through the human field and you process it through your human body. And the more pure that your energetic gets, the more pure your reflection is when it comes through you and processes. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's a cosmic cycle. Everybody on the planet is having to get in touch and reattached to a cosmic cycle, not a clock cycle. Lo and behold, it's how they were doing everything down here in the times that we're in, because of the depth that we were in. Energetically, at the bottom of the Milky Way is how you can think about it. And your ascension is pulling you out of the Milky Way. What's been coming, number one, I'm back in Texas. And had to wait out 4 or 5 days coming from Vegas after we blew this energetic stronghold attached to the red rock and the bedrock of the entire planet. You can think of it as we blew a back door. In another dimension, we really did split space-time. But we've already done that in order to get back in here. So now this year in 2025, how that is it, because it's gone into a lower phonetic and a lower frequency, because it's attached into the entire human race. And whenever we expand the rock. This is, you move mountains, you really do. It's not a parable. It's not a metaphor. For those of us that have been Rh negatives, and especially AB negative or B neg, A neg and O neg, not as much. They have another set of skills, and their set of skills for A neg and O neg had been their power source down here for a really long time. And FYI, O negative blood is the Watchers. The Watchers are O neg. Now, there ain't no good or bad to any of this. Everybody was doing their role for specific times. Everybody down here at one point was doing their role the way they were supposed to for a specific set of frequencies and times. You cannot do the same thing that we did in 1950 in 2025 in a 5G freaking Wi-Fi network. But especially in the United States of America, Southwestern Bell and the physical things that were built in the 50s and the 60s to harness cosmic energy and through the human race in the United States of America were all built in the 50s. So what they were attempting to do is run a brand new cosmic energy system and fluctuation and connectivity through a switchboard. Now, each one of us would be the switchboard. The way that they were running it at the end of days, each one of us would have been, okay, I need this one over here, and I need this one over here. Okay, I'm going to connect you to this one. I'm going to take, because we really were, look, this is why they were wearing pearl necklaces. We really were a whole bunch. It's how it works whenever you're all activated. We're all connected way deeper than you could ever imagine, and there's only one way or one ceiling in each one of the DNA lines. This is why, the whole new age thing with you're me and I'm you. No, you're not. Not yet. We're still pulling everybody out of the Milky Way. We're still seeing who can get it together to freaking be a full embodied being. You are not me until you get all the way out of that, and then I see me in you. You don't just come out me. And I would have never made it as far as I did if I would have been comparing myself to somebody else, because there's no way to compare you to even the other ones in the line, because you all have a very specific set of data. You all have a very specific, when I plug in, when I have a switchboard, okay, if I have a switchboard and I'm like this in my little dress, and I report to my job at the Jetsons. What was the Jetsons guy's name from the nuclear reactor? I'm gonna report to my job, and yes sir. Oh, hi. Yes, you're trying to ring Arcturus? Okay, hold on a minute. I gotta turn on the whole Boots constellation. Who's tied into the Boots? Y'all just got turned on. I haven't even put a thing in there yet. Then I got to take the cord. Who's the cord? The cord's connected to the Arcturus, but they're going to have some Alpha Drac energy in their energy. So now I've got to plug that in there, because you're trying to get a hold of that cell. So then it's going to ignite the entire freaking switchboard. It's going to ignite the entire cabling system, all because I want to plug this one into here and I need a channel. Now, here's the problem. Then this channel was being listened to by Morse code. This channel was being listened to by the Voyager, which you think isn't connected to our consciousness, but it's in space, and goo basically was made sentient. So it's in a giant speaker system. So all this stuff that the Voyager is just now reporting back and they're getting, we knew 10, 15 years ago, which is why we activated early and had to change everything up, because the whole human race had gone into the wrong level of space and everybody almost lost their balls and ovaries. Because there is a cosmic area named scrotum out there, and if you get too far from it, then you're going to lose it, which is exactly what happened with Andromedan beings. Down here, sex was so abused, especially in the feminine, for a power source, not for lovemaking, not for even baby generation. And it was happening in the men and the women lines. This wasn't just the women. In fact, the women can hold it together a lot better than the men. The men subconsciously selling off their children and selling off their daughters and selling off their, because it's what you were doing. If you were following the regular game down here, I mean, that's what you were doing. All for a power source. So every time that your sister or your mother or your daughter has any type of sexual, and by the way, beings were made to bring it out of them. And an entire lines of men were trained in order to, and working in a unit. You didn't even realize that all of y'all were doing the same thing to us at the same exact time, because it was at a cosmic grid set and they needed the reaction from us. So all of y'all then, all of a sudden, and I mean, this is how subconscious it is. To the point where the masculine psyche was so split off. It's and the feminines, the hybridization and the rebirthing had become unbelievable. So the men's psyche, because you're doing these things subconsciously, but it's still connected into a larger etheric body. So then what happens? It becomes a baseline traumatic energy response within your psyche. Now this is men and women, but I'm giving you an idea of how this was all going on, and nobody knew exactly how it was going on, but I'm explaining it to you as best I can. If you haven't seen the movie Black Widow, Purple Pig is perfect to go watch. Purple Pig Week, Black Widow. My crew and I have been all over, these last 3 weeks as we're going through these washes. It had like a cadence to it. It was real easy. The first 3 weeks. Now this is any 8-week process. So the reason that we're doing all of this the way we're doing it is because I'm teaching you and showing you and showing us for the years to come, because this is going to build every year. This is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger from May to the end of August every year. You're going to be connecting in with this washing, with this BAMA, because you're building it. You're building out of it. I look a total mess. With Purple Pig, number one, it's like my Tuesdays and Wednesdays are like really like becoming my Thursday and Friday. Like I literally was blocked. I did drive, but I still could have done the video. Like I can do a billion things at once, but no, I could not. Mars and Mercury day was too small. It's like I had to wait for Jupiter and Venus. Number one. Number two, we're having to do it backwards. So, like, last week, I was going to show y'all 1, 2, 3, like the physics of 1 through 9 and the physics of the alphabet. I had to stop because Texas was getting torn up. I was an hour away from New Mexico Texas border on top of Tucumcari, Radiator Springs, basically. So Lightning McQueen was stopped at Radiator Springs, harnessed into all of that rock, all through the Hopi channels, all through Nevada, which we learned at the end of April that Nevada, when we cleared Nevada, Europe lost your power. I need everyone to hear, if you've got people that are living in other countries, they need to know that they need to support us, because Nevada and the energetic of Nevada keep all the lights on, especially in Europe. If you notice, United States didn't lose power. When we were driving through Death Valley at the end of May, I was getting Australia. What in my world, when I was driving through it and feeling it, because we didn't even know Europe lost power. We were in the middle of it. We were connecting it. I thought it was Australia we lost connection to. So if we lost connection to Australia, but then it took out, Nevada lost connection to Australia, but it took out the European power grid. You got to remember, we're dealing with NATO. We're dealing. You think it's all spread out and it's really big, all the countries, but it's not. From over a Sophia grid system, it would be like 6 that even had control, and the whole thing's being managed from way up here. The higher that you go, see, and this is a misconception that we're really starting to understand with Purple Pig, because normally I would go feminine, then masculine, and then we'd do the wash. Well, right now I'm having to write the wash today to know what to connect everyone to in the meditation from what we've done the past 3 weeks, because we're gonna have to those of us who had a ton of Libra. Everybody on my team in the beginning had a ton of Libra, and it's because it connects the light and dark side, and Libra literally is Aquarius in the outer wheel. Libra connections and Virgo connections happened over lifetimes, and it basically stretches you out in like a grid system that's going to stretch you from east to west, not north to south. Whenever the macrosity and the energetics, the higher that you get, because the whole world is in 0 point right now. Even your physics and your science are all telling you that there's going to be a change, because we as a human race now have 0 point. Well, let me explain that. Right now, the entire Sophia grid. Now, when we talk about Sophia grid system, what that is the star systems that make up an etheric body inside the Milky Way. Inside the Milky Way. Inside a hole. Inside a wormhole. In Virgo, Sophia is basically as the celestial being that is your planet that everybody forgot about, which is in full force over here explaining so you can get out, because we don't want you in our body no more. You're going to have to do it on your own. Only because you forgot about us, but I mean, that's another thing. The celestial being that was getting put under, that's Virgo. Virgo and the Sophia body is where, like, it started up here, and then we came down here, then we came down here, then we came down here. All that star system is showing the original form of how it holds up Virgo. If you don't have a celestial being holding up Virgo, you have no oxygen layer, you have no science. You've got none. You have no periodic table. You have no gases that mix that you're going to be able to say is a gas down here, because everything that you think that you know about science and periodic tables and gases, you can throw it out the window, because all of it was bound out there in a singular source to produce whatever that is down here. And it's sewn into a layer. So whenever you look at the sea level and then you see a mist and then you see a cloud and there's those layers, well, if you don't have a celestial being in the planet, you don't have those layers. You have to breathe them in all at once. They purposely would activate us to get everybody at a 0 point. Why? Because in order to get the whole world at a 0 point, it has to be karma cleared. All the curses have to be broken. Every single line has to be purified. This isn't the first time that this has happened. It's the first time you're finding out about it, because there's nowhere else to go. You can't go any lower. We went out the bottom, came up the top, connected it all through the core, which you'd consider Antarctica, but no, it's a core. It's a toroidal field, and the whole thing moves on a pole and goes up. It just wasn't moving so that you could harness and call it science and periodic tables and whatever else. Meanwhile, what everybody was doing on hybridization and what the whole EPP time thing was turning every single one of us into a gas that couldn't even move. All my girls and myself included that were wrapped up in this Israel freaking stuff, because I don't know why the whole world doesn't remember that they were doing this to Israel's seeds. Why is that not a topic of conversation? This isn't any random women and genomes that they were doing this to. It was a reverse way of cosmic. Whenever it's amazing. I'm gonna have another Zoom call that's coming up. We're gonna put it on the calendar this month. If you can get into the Zoom call to do your coloring book, we did our first one, and there was 3 of y'all that came on. Well, there's 4 that signed up, but 3 that showed up. And the girls on that call really, really, really saw it, because there was only 3. They don't know each other. They all came in from other timelines, other places in the world, and their charts matched up perfectly on 3 different dimensions of space-time. It's natural. You find me. Whenever you need to have your chart done, you will find me and you'll get it done. But realize that you're not coming in alone. You're coming in a string. And we've been watching this for 8 years. And by the way, whenever we do it, we clear it and we connect it all the way out. And then we're having to do these washes to wash out what we're pulling in from y'all in order to keep it clear. What EPP and all them were doing, and IDI, all of them, what they were doing was the reverse of that. In the organic, y'all come in units, you don't know each other. They were looking for units that knew each other in the lines. There were 2, and I had to clear Natasha. I cleared one of Epstein's girls, one of the ones who had the 7, okay? Like, I was involved with breaking this since 2020 because it was Israel seeds. Not just any normal Tom, Dick, and Harry walking down here. What you'd consider multidimensional, but multidimensional was made by stretching us out over space-time. The higher that you go energetically, the more money it's going to cost to control it. The higher that you go in energetics and as a human race, trying to, now, not if we just all came up together. If everything was doing this naturally and nobody was trying to like harness the energy down and everything is just going normal, then no. The currency and the money would just change. It would change altogether because everybody would be moving up into a higher energetic, which eventually, and is what's happening now, except you've just got a whole group that's being propaganded to FYG and FYP even. And it's like they have no idea any of this is going on. You have to stop worrying about it. We are past the point of, are they going to get it? It's more like they're changing. They're changing no matter, because the entire sequence has changed and been put back together. You can't stay where you're at. There's no more floor to stand on. We had to blow it out and loop around. The higher that you get in frequency because 0 point, when we're talking about 0 point, okay, well, you're in the Sophia body. Well, guess what? Sophia body was completely taken over. Sophia body went completely metal jacket. Sophia body started changing genders. I know. I put her back together in the physical form, in an AB bloodline. What we had to do as a collective, and this is the part that the whole world and every single book, then everything that ever had this written in was taken away and burned, and wars were started to get rid of the information that I'm telling you right now. Because they tried everything to erase it, thinking that it wouldn't be inside of our DNA. Well, there's a collective body that's way bigger than Sophia. It's gonna have the Egyptian hat with the little snake that comes out of the third eye. Well, that was the crimson worm. I had it. I didn't even know. When that little crimson worm came out, then over the next couple of years, it was 2023. It was November 2023 when the collective went to battle with their fake Cleopatra head. So basically, it's like over time they had built a fake Cleopatra head. Somebody in the line was holding this. It probably is how high it got before, because we didn't finish the whole thing. And whatever, because cosmically, when these happen, the whole human race is going to line up like a pyramid energetically in your etheric body. Why? Because the whole realm was started from one body. If you don't get that, then you don't get any abilities, you don't get any powers, you don't get any telepathy, you don't get, because all of us working together is how it was even produced. If you think that you're just all that and you've got the big brain on Brad Pitt, then good luck to you. It's not how anything's done. And it hasn't been how anything's been done. So what's happening is like the whole, the Sophia body and is 0 point, yes. But in 0 point, what are you doing? Terraforming. And do you have any idea, how dense the energy has to be to set the entire human race at 0 point? Do you have any idea how dense of space we're in with light beings like us that blew this whole thing, circled back around, came back in? We're in the same bubble as you. We're all lighting up this bubble, and we're holding 0 point. That's full on light and dark, walled up against each other. But just so you realize, as a human race, that's how far into space, that's how lost we were. We were lost in space in a bubble that our bodies were supposed to be guiding through star systems, and we forgot. But this is after death timelines, and it was all set up for a reason for all of us to go unconscious. How do you go unconscious? And how do you completely go unconscious for 1,000,000 years and keep everything running? Your etheric body is set up to run it like a ship on the outside of you. But then if you're in the ship, you got to remember you're driving the ship. Higher is not the answer. It appeared to be the answer because of how they were hybridizing. You know, when you get to AB negative status, you know, and all of you will, like, I don't care if you have that blood type or not. The whole human race eventually will get to an AB neg status energetically. The problem is then what, according to the ones that were writing the Matrix and this NATO stuff that were programmed, because they had programmed where you were going to go next. And you wouldn't have liked it. Because it didn't have anything to do with your family line. It didn't have anything to do with banking. It didn't have anything to do with making the pencil maker. It didn't have anything to do with the land that your family owned or the whatever you think your family name. It had nothing to do with that. All it had to do with what type of power source do you and the people in your group make, and to make sure that that power wasn't coming to you, that you were used in order to light up, in order to blow up, in order to whatever. Because if you're a powerful energy sequence, I mean, that's like, you think that a bomb will just go off? No, bomb's going to go off, and then it's going to keep going off every single sequence that cosmic energy lines up. Because energy doesn't leave. Especially not whenever. So the whole hybridization process of making AB negs and making AB negs, and everybody thinks that we're so cool because we can channel all this stuff and we can da. Yeah, but you're holding 0 point for the whole everything. And the more 0 point you get, the less people hear you. I don't understand you. I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand. Well, the more that you say that, the more that you're not. Now we've got an entire collective that's up here telling people this, and they're going, whatever. No. Okay. Because if you're not breaking, and whenever you're the diamond on top of this whole super soldier program, then guess what you've got to clear through? The CERN diamond. When you're talking about AB negative super soldier wars, there it is. GIA technology and the tech I was building that was stolen in 2013 was programming that diamond, so that whenever everyone came through 0 point, that diamond was massive. You had already walked it. It was footprints in front of you. This is in the Bible. AB negative super soldiers could not have cleared this program without every single connection to the human race. Whenever the human race all goes 0 point in AB negative, how are you going to clear it? It was set to fail. So when we do the washes and we talk about ascended and descended masters, that's what we're talking about. Ascended master is easy. Ascended master is easy. Boom, 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 boom. There's my etheric body. I'm connected into the whole human race. I'm holding it out in space. We just moved Virgo. She's walking now. That's why she's a person. That's why she's got legs. That's why the other ones don't. That ascended master, real easy. Descended master, first time it's ever been done. First time it's ever been done down here. Descended master is the whole entire collective that built up this energetic vibe that's like that helped us stand up Virgo, that connected all these different lines, because y'all were in the lines. You just lost your infrastructure, because your infrastructure just got hard coded and turned on into a switchboard. That's why you don't know. You just forgot that there was somebody over here having to do this and do this. You forgot that there was another part of you that the switchboard. You forgot. Do you really even need to talk to that person, or is there another way? Should you even have called the switchboard? Should you even have involved another person? Can you just no. Purple pig also, this has to do with the ones who won't eat pig. As far as I'm concerned, we need to hold them all down and slam it in their mouth. You don't want to eat pig because you think it's dirty, but then because of your DNA lines, you decide that everyone in the South needs to be tortured and put in prisons and control everything down here in order to get people into prisons to make them eat pig every single day. Whenever in Huntsville, Texas, the pigs have a $3 million air conditioning system, but the men are dying every day. And by the way, most of them were set up by your lines, but then you don't want to eat a pig. Well, purple pig, motherfucker. We got a big problem down here with animals and people. We got a big problem with disassociation, a big one, a massive one with people coming out of the matrix. You care all about the animals. You don't give a shit about the people. Well, all the people were wrangled like the animals. Energetically, and put in stables. I mean, that was the Valhalla of it. All that stuff that was made in the spirit was being utilized. If there wouldn't have been Valhalla, and there wouldn't have been mass sacrifices of people in pen for whatever the hell. Now, this is good and bad, because this is like the chicken and the egg at this point. Because it's like, why were the Vikings doing it? Were they doing it because they saw in the end of days that this is what was going to happen and we needed some cellular structure? I don't know. Maybe. Or is it that them doing it over time caused the cellular structure to turn on a switchboard? And this is when we talk about religions and we talk about any type. Even holidays. Like, why? Why do we celebrate it? Why do we do it? Why are we baptizing in water? Why did we baptize in water back then? Should we still be doing it now? I don't know. Why was it done back then? It's a totally different physics now. Should you be on a mat praying to a sun god and do it 2 times a day? No, not in this energy, not anymore. Should you be repeating scripture word for word and then not attaching it from the Bible into the astronomy and the cosmic to show the metaphors? No, you shouldn't be. Should we be celebrating St. Patrick's Day and drinking green beer? I don't know. Why are you doing it? Do you know why they have you doing it? Once you do it, once you realize why they're doing it, why they did it, and then you do it, okay, you're changing it because you know why. If you don't know why, you're still involved in the process. You're part of the problem. And this is just everything across the board. And we don't have all the original answer is everybody's got to wake up. Everybody's got to turn. It's too late. It is what it is. You're changing into one of us in some sense of the form, because now you're having to speak about your thoughts. You're having to tell people what your dreams were. You're having to, what is this little voice in your head that's making you want to da-da-da-da-da? You have to talk about that stuff with other people, because the more that you don't, the deeper it's going to go. And the deeper that it goes, the further it pulls you out into space to clear it up. what you'll end up finding out when you're talking about your dreams and you're talking about these little things is that people around you are having the same exact experience. It's the only way that you're going to learn how the energy is running through the lines. If you don't know the energy is running through lines and you don't know that you're a bead on that necklace, then how the F are you going to figure out what tone your bead is and how to move information because you don't have the switchboard? Because everything's going in a circle down here no matter. You're getting unscrewed out, whether you know it or not. When you get unscrewed, are you going to have a brain? Are you going to be a toy soldier? I don't know. Even to the extent that the ones that are completely out of it, their bodies are getting cleared. This is why there's so much hostile takeover with the mind right now. Not only that, you've got two different groups of us that are walking in them. That all depends on what their life was beforehand. If they've really been doing good, if they really they haven't been messing with anybody, they just got freaking, and because of everything going on, then they're gonna change. It's almost like their higher self's gonna walk into them. That's on the energetic. That'd be considered the good side. If they've been a freaking meat puppet the whole time, made by clay and a whole bunch of, we can't do nothing about that. Because you signed up for it. There's rules. If I can't go into someone else's territory that's a deity and take over all their people if their people are signed up to them. I can't. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing the angelic army can do. There's nothing we can do except pull open the bubble for you to see where you fucked up. We pull up the bubble so you can see it now, so you have enough to go, oh crap, I just screwed up. Yep, fix it. Fix it, say you're sorry, ask for guidance, ask for support from the ancestors, ask for the army that's already been through this to come show you exactly what the hell went down to show you how to fix it. That's it. Get rid of the shame, get rid of the blame, get rid of all of it. Trash it. Trash it. Everybody down here was being controlled. There's nothing from your past that you should be ashamed of. Nothing. Nothing. But are you going to do it again? Purple pig. And by the way, this is how they were, whenever you had people in that were being just dying, all of a sudden, aneurysm or heart attack. Purple pig. And you'd be surprised. You would think that's some type of cauldron thing that's happening or something like that. No, it's attached to the entire human race. It's more of a gang stalking type of deal. The other thing that I want to add at the end here with purple pig, because I've said all of this to tell you this. I was in a pig suit. My right ear just went out. Oh my God. My whole life as Christy, I was in a pig suit. My son was in a pig suit. The one of us that's inside my group right now that helped us as a collective clear this from the King Henry line, they tried to gigger this round. Now what a pig suit is a gig suit. A gig suit is a bodysuit, almost like Russian dolls. It really is, because it's attached to sarcophaguses and different races of beings. This is your doll inside a doll inside a doll. If you go back and look at my pictures as a small child, you can see exactly at 3 years old where they started, and by 6 you could see I was starting to go in. It looked like I was wearing a mask. My eyes weren't this big at all. Your skin is really, really, really tough. it's almost like there's a layer of skin, and then there's like water in your body, and then your skin. You don't like to be touched. You hate massages. You can't stand it because it feels like skin on another bodysuit. It's like someone's touching you, but they're not. Like, kind of like when you put your fingers together on each side and you do this and one feels numb. That's what it feels like. A gig suit is put on certain lines because it's IG. It's literally holding Wi-Fi. It's like it's attached to the entire realm that was only energetic. It was almost like a shell that was put on. It ended up working like a speaker system, like the true Egyptian stuff. See, this is them just hybridizing, fucking doing. But like in the natural reason why it was there is because when you're a pure light being and then you incarnate down here and everything's energetic and harnessed in energetic lines, it'd fry you. So whenever you're an ancient incarnate, which is what I was, then because I had it from the Egyptian lines and blah, 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 then what it does is when you incarnate into the energies that have that, it stacks up on you, but it's stacking up on you in that layer because of the entire human race and what everybody else is doing down here. Basically, that layer ends up getting made as a protective shell almost. Now, if you started gaining weight all of a sudden, or you were like this, or because you end up birthing out of it, and when you birth through it and you transmute through it, that's when basically all your abilities and power and everything are in this suit, kinda. But then what happens is all this right here comes inside you, and then you're pushing it out now to refract the energies instead of holding it in a cell to keep you protected. That DNA was used to manipulate, and that DNA strand and all of that was used to hybridize, and then they were using the natural thing that I just told you in order to gig certain people, and you would just all of a sudden start gaining a ton of weight, and you'd all of a sudden be so tired, your immune system will completely fall apart, you'll end up getting celiacs, you'll end up getting whatever, because your system's getting fried, because you got gigged. Adele used to be gigged. I don't know what's happened. Freaking Gwen Stefani started getting gigged, and then they did something. Because I could see it. It was coming on her. 2022. And then it just disappeared. So, I don't know. But when we're talking about purple pig, that's why... And whenever you're doing any type of 8-week series, let's say we were going to make this a 10-week series. If this would have been a 10-week series, at week 5, everything would have flipped. This is an 8-week series. Week 4, everything's flipping. No, I'll even turn this off for a minute because I don't look quite this great because I have a thing on. See, my skin's kind of spotty. I don't have a filter on. This is what I look like. My skin's kind of spotty because I don't have any, makeup on. But normally, whenever I come into Texas from the West Coast, I start looking really, 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 really old. Everything starts getting really wrinkled. Everything starts getting, as soon as I leave Texas and I get to the East Coast, I look 15 years younger. What's happening this time is it's changing opposite. What's happening this time is I haven't even been home 48 hours. I normally, after 48 hours, I'm going to start looking all wrinkled, like I'm getting, like all my energy's getting sucked out of me, kind of like a skeleton, especially when I've been on other parts of the United States. This time, it's starting to work opposite. This time, when I came back in, it's like I don't know. Everything flipped. Everything flipped from the outside in to now the inside out. If you haven't done week 4 wash, go do it. It's on YouTube. I'm going to put this video up on YouTube. I'll probably be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, what I'm going to do is probably ABCs, and I'm just show you how that builds in physics so you can start kind of lining up in your head how your ley lines and energies, because everything that's happening is only energy, pure energy trying to come in, pure energy trying to come out. Whatever's merging in the middle is going to be your reality. Because your reality is based on what's clearing in your body. That's what's projecting in the field. That's why you have to purify your energy. And guess what? You ain't going to like what's going to show up for like the first 4 or 5 years when you're doing this. Because you're going to be mirroring lower aspects of you. Or too high. Or to this. Or to that. Because you're mirroring you. Don't jump into anything with anybody until you feel comfortable with that mirror. Because otherwise, you'll bring both of you down. The maternal loving thing to do is to, and see, this is where Queen of Swords gets a bad rap. You're talking about, and I'm going to end this with this. The other thing that's been coming up nonstop is super soldiers. And that needs its own video. However, this is what I want you to take home with you. Those of us who are the most warrior angels that you'd consider the head of the super soldier lines down here, do you know what we came to Earth to learn? Unconditional love. Everything else that's happened. Super soldier lines, military lines, thoroughbred lines, separation, in together, every locked in, separated, locked here, locked there, separated, locked here, locked there, separated. Gotta wait 12,000 years now. Watch the human race fuck up some more before we can go back in and try to clean up the mess they're making. All of that was made, and all of us have had to learn. And all we did was sign up to learn unconditional love. And don't knock the super soldiers, 'cause you better not, or else you ain't gonna get out that CERN diamond. Because basically from Sophia body up to Cleopatra and the way that the lines were done, you're becoming a super soldier from a DNA perspective as you clear through this. Now, are you in their army? Are you your own? And that's where we're at right now as a human race. Because no matter, you're connected to everybody. Are you being ruled, have to be told what to do, can only get a special suit in order to read telepathy, but you get your 3 square meals a day and you got a place to sleep, and there's a doctor if you need a pill. Is that where you are? You got to dress everybody the same way. You got to da-da-da-da-da. I mean, no matter. Your energy's working together as a unit. You're either going to go on one of their military armies, or you're going to get it together and you're going to realize that someone else in your DNA line has walked this before you got taken in, before you signed up. Don't get it confused thinking that you're not in the military down here if you're not in the military. Because definitely, and if you've got Antares, if you have 7 to 11 degrees of Sagittarius, you're in a military. If you, I mean, there's the 4 or 5 different rays that are like, you're walking in somebody else's army. Gemini's, even Archangel Michael's one of them. Because Archangel Michael in New Earth, where is it? In Gemini? Is that at the end of the wheel? No. New Earth, according to this New Age shit, is a program. Now, we made all this stuff real. That's what blew their mind. What blew their mind, because before we activated all this and activated spirit and activated there was no God in this reality. There was no spirit. There was no angels down here. There wasn't. That's why what you'd consider the other side can't even believe that it's happening, because it really wasn't here, but it's not going to appear until you really need it. And whenever it's that evil, whenever what's being done to the human race is that evil, then it will polarize, and there will be an angelic army that shows up to kick your ass. Do you see them? Do you realize you're one of them? Do you realize it's just you from another dimension showing you what not to do as you're clearing up? So for a lot of the high conscious people, you know, it feels like you're descending. It feels like you're going back into the swamp. I just want everyone to remember that you're going back into the swamp with a new frequency that's changing the swamp. The ones that are coming up to a higher frequency are going to balance out with you. All to make sure that we don't get too high too quick. Because you get too high too quick, we got to do it all together, and like to where those satellites and all that stuff that's out there can't mess with you. Which, don't worry about that. It'll happen the way it needs to happen when it needs to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen in 3 years. I don't know if it's going to happen in 10 years. I don't know what's going to happen. At this rate, it looks like it's going slower. Because what the hell? It's been 8 years. We've already pulled this off, and most of the world don't even know what the fuck's going on. However, if you're one of us, then in 10 years, you're going to get blamed for trying to control people and thinking that you're controlling mass quantities of people. Okay, well, better controlled by us that know what the hell and we care about you than the other. So do you want to be part of our family line, or do you want to be a million years down the road, your children trying to take down a Rothschild? This will be on YouTube. BAMA week 4. Wash will be on Saturday. Go listen to the YouTube meditations. Black Cow. The whole series so far. If you want to catch up, there's 3 of them. I wouldn't do them all in the same day. Black Cow. Green Lamb. Wait, I'm going to miss one. I missed one. Blue Monkey. Black Cow. Blue Monkey. Green Lamb. Our Purple Pig will be this weekend. Saturday night. Love y'all.